In July of 2018, ace NBA trainer Drew Hanlen teased Sixers fans to get excited after releasing a workout video showing Markelle Fultz draining Jays with a new and improved form, convincing fans everywhere that the #1 pick was gearing up to shock the world in his second season. But by October of that same year, Markelle had already completely ghosted his trainer, canceling all future sessions and cutting off all forms of communication. And after a promising start to the season, the jumper began looking more and more shaky with every passing game, until he was finally ruled out for the season in December. Here's why it all happened. Anybody that's followed the NBA for the past couple of years has undoubtedly seen the memes and witnessed the mysterious decline of Markelle Fultz's jumper. After throwing up straight bricks in the short time he played his rookie season, it was clear that something terrible and unusual had happened to the guy that was being compared to a young James Harden just a year prior. After months of confusion and speculation, it looked like we finally got the answer to the mystery this past summer, when trainer Drew Hanlen explained that Fultz just had a severe case of the yips. Or, in other words, that even though he did get injured as a rookie, the issue was all mental for the 19-year-old. Now for fans of Fultz, which included myself, this news honestly came as a huge relief, since it seemed like the young point guard just needed practice and a little bit of guidance to get back to that dominant level he played at in college. This relief then quickly transformed into massive excitement after Hanlen released this footage in July of Markelle splashing shots in the gym, along with several tweets from the trainer that all pointed in the right direction. Shoot, even Sixers coach Brett Brown echoed the belief that Markelle was set to have a big season. Everything seemed to be lining up, and best believe I was happy out of my mind because I knew Fultz would finally play up to his potential, prove all the doubters wrong, and rise as the third star in Philly to complete the process. Except, he didn't. In fact, he might have done the exact opposite. Now things definitely didn't go south right away. After shooting a below average 4 for 13 from 3 over his first 8 games, the mood around the league regarding Markelle was actually very positive. No, not all of his shots were falling, but he was putting them up with confidence that we hadn't seen since college, which was the only real problem during his rookie season. At least, that's what we thought. Seemingly out of nowhere, it all started taking a turn for the worse, as, after that 8-game stretch, Markelle didn't take another 3 for 10 straight games, all while his form began to look worse and worse, until he was barely even lifting his right arm anymore on shots. Then, completely out of the blue, the Sixers suddenly released a statement saying that Markelle Fultz would be out for an indefinite period of time. No injury listed, no timetable given, just a simple statement that he was going to be out. What just happened? All of a sudden, we were thrown right back into that mystery. Nobody knew why his form had gotten so much worse again in such a short time. Nobody knew where his hard work with Drew Hanlen over the summer had gone, or if he was still even working with Hanlen during the season. But one thing was abundantly clear. Markelle's issues were a lot more than just confidence. And it was during the tail end of that terrible 10-game stretch that finally we uncovered the truth. The real truth. A report was made on November 12th that Markelle Fultz and Drew Hanlen were no longer working together or on speaking terms, after their relationship deteriorated about 3 weeks ago. Though the initial report didn't give a reason for the split, it didn't take long at all for the Twitter community to play Sherlock Holmes and discover this deleted tweet from Drew Hanlen, which just so happened to have been written and quickly taken down by the trainer almost exactly 3 weeks before the report was made. Now it might seem weird to you why Fultz would cut off Hanlen just based on the tweet, where Hanlen actually tries to defend the player from criticism. That's until you think about why the trainer had to delete the tweet so quickly. Take a closer look at the trainer's second bullet point. Quote, "You don't know his situation, he's still not healthy." Keep in mind, he's saying this around late October, after both Markelle's camp and the 76ers medical staff told the public before the season that he was completely healthy and ready to go. This was not a good look. Something had been hidden from us, but it wouldn't be hidden much longer. It only took a couple more days for doctors across the internet to piece together all the clues and reveal what had truly been causing all of Fultz's issues. And no, it wasn't the yips. It was actually a condition known as thoracic outlet syndrome, which is a nerve disorder which makes it extremely difficult and painful to lift your arm above your shoulder. Now you can imagine how that might affect an NBA player, especially a guy that relies on his jump shot. Shortly later, this truth was cemented when the 76ers ruled Fultz out for the season in early December with the disorder, before going on to trade the 2017 number 1 pick to the Orlando Magic before the deadline for essentially a bench warmer in Jonathan Simmons and a couple of decent draft picks. And that basically takes us to where we stand now. There has probably never been a more confusing or frustrating 2-year journey in sports than the one that Markelle has gone through. But I think it's important to understand that the guy's journey is still far from over. Even though it's undeniable now that he has serious health concerns, there is rehab available to treat and combat the shoulder issues that have bothered him so much. Now, will Markelle Fultz ever become the superstar level James Harden clone that many predicted? No, probably not. But with all the other tools he has outside of his jumper, I have no reason to doubt the dude's ability to come back healthy and develop into a key contributor in this league. Regardless of what happens, I think we should all be rooting for the guy to succeed. I know he's not on the Sixers anymore, but all any of us can do now is trust the process. That's all I got for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, keep ballin', fellas. I'm out.